What is up, everybody? Happy Friday! We made it. It's WrestleMania weekend. Welcome once again to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour here every Friday night at 6. I am your virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, we just had an aftershock, so that's fun. Hope you're all enduring the earthquake, kids.
Yeah, fun.
Oh my god. But we're here, we're doing it. We're no longer on the road to WrestleMania. We're pulling into that parking lot. We got so much to talk about. I am drinking my Tito's orange juice and cranberry. Mr. Nick, what are you drinking over there?
I am having my J-Lore 7 Oaks. If you're new here, please hit the old Samoan spike on the like and subscribe buttons. We'd love to have you. We are here, as always, every Friday at 6 p.m., as our cat is as well. If you can't hear her in the background, Bailey, named after one of the WrestleMania's participants this weekend. So let's get right into it. A lot to deal with, a lot to talk about. First match of the evening. As always, we love to go ladies first. So we are going to start with Saturday night, which we just recently found out is going to be the opening match, which I correctly predicted.
You did, but if you believe Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer, he said, I wrote it down, so I'm accurate. So he said night one is going to have 4 long matches, starting with Rhea and Becky, which is supposed to be the opener. Then the ladder match is supposed to go long, obviously 6-man ladder match, Gter, Sami, and then obviously main event, the tag. There's supposed to be a lot of bells and whistles. The matches are all supposed to be different, but exceptional.
Yes, it
quote
is.
Quote unquote from Meltzer.
So it better be. It's WrestleMania. So it's exciting. So let's get right into it. Nikki, I will let you start. What is your thinking? What is your thoughts on the Becky Rhea match? Who do you think is coming down with the belt?
I think it's good. I really want it to be like this crazy match. I think they both can put on something really, really good. I think if you listen to us enough, you know I love Becky Lynch, but Rhea really needs to win. Rhea really needs to pull this out. I think she needs to be the dominant champion. I love that she won at Mania. Let's go back and win again. Keep holding the belt. I think it should be Rhea.
So it's been a real interesting run. I mean, it's been a build-up since Elimination Chamber, and even before that, you know, with obviously the press conference with Becky saying she was going to win Chamber. So we kind of thought that was a possibility and going to happen.
I'm so excited to punch the bar.
Oh, I thought that was another aftershock. No, we are now just assuming everything has to do. We are, just to give you guys a heads up, we are 20 minutes from the epicenter where this earthquake hit, so we're just assuming everything's an aftershock at this point.
I'm just clumsy and punch the bar.
But regardless, getting right into it, I think the buildup has been great. We saw on Raw with the security guard spot where there's a whole team. They're trying to keep them apart, and both of them got their spots in, so to speak, where they looked strong. It's tough to say because Becky is such a solidified star and a bona fide star, and with everything that she's done for the company, like, she could get over, but I just don't see it happening at this point in time. And also, I think given the background with her book tour, her book just coming out, I think they might give her a little easier schedule with that as well. So I think it could. Something I will say is they are considering a full let's see. Well, but so with I lost, so we're going solo. And we're back in, I hope. We're back live. I'm pulling Nikki back in. And we're back on. So I'm going to have to reset here, but the aftershocks of the earthquake have knocked out our internet for a little bit here. So we're going to have to retool this for 1 second here, but let me get everything back up. So we were going off of the Rhea Becky match. And again, we made our predictions there. So moving on, we're going to go to what we think is going to be probably a cool down match of sorts. I almost called them Legado del Fantasma, but Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio are going to challenge Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Thoughts on this match, Nikki, overall? Anything in particular?
I think Rey's going to get a win at Mania. I think, of course, Rey's going to get a thing at Mania. And if they're touting that Dragon Lee is going to be the next big star, he's the next Rey Mysterio, then I think his first Mania, they're going to give him a win. I'm going to go, in my predictions, I said them. My heart thinks that Santos really needs a win in this feud, but I think they're going to give it to the good guys.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think I disagree. I think that Dom and Santos are going to win here because I have a feeling there's some sort of stable that is being formed between Santos, Dom. I don't know if Andrade's going to be involved. I think, oh my God, I almost called Primo. The two, his two.
Oh, Del Toro and the non.
Oh my God, why am I blanking on their names?
Joaquin Wilde.
No. The ones that are with Santos right now.
Umberto and.
Yes, Umberto and Angela. Oh my God, but yes,
Angel Garza.
Angel Garza, yes, Garza.
I had
to
think for a minute.
Yes, Umberto and Angel. Thank you, Ed. And Ed also wants us to know either Aftershocks or you guys went live with a bang. That was us. Yeah, it's just this is what happens when we go live.
Things happen.
Yeah, things happen. So it's crazy. What's going on right now? But WrestleMania season is here. It's all the electricity. It's just all the excitement. So let us know. We got cut off with the Rhea stuff with the Aftershocks. So let us know in the comments who you all have right now. Say Rhea. Becky.
While we were talking, I had an idea because I knew we threw some stuff out on Wednesday how we would do like call-ups and stuff. I think we should have them when our friends call in. I think it should be like, give us your one lock. Like, oh yeah, Cody's definitely winning, beating Roman, and give us like your wild card. Like, someone's beating. I don't know, whatever you think your wild card is. I just think that because we didn't want to go through the whole 13 matches, but give us your like. Definitely winning and like your oh my God spot, like can't believe,
Exactly.
Damien's gonna come and cash in on Roman Reigns and win the thing. So I think just to keep it simple, fun, lock, oh my God moment. But I digress.
So yes. So again, if you want to let us know in the comments, we'll read them off or the consensus of what everyone feels on these matches. But moving on. So actually, I'm on my wrong slide. Now we move on to the 6-woman tag team match. Damage Control will challenge Bianca Belair, Naomi, and my personal favorite, the new star, Jade Cargill, in a 6-woman tag team match. Overall, I'm going to take this one first. Overall, thoughts on this. I'm excited to see what Jade is going to do again in the ring. And I think there's going to be some sort of, at times, tension between Bianca and Jade because I want to see that. We all want to see that feud happen. So I'm interested to see that. But overall, I don't think there's any chance that Damage Control comes out with a victory on this.
I do agree with you, and I feel bad because it was on Raw, I believe. Dakota Kai said, like, oh, we're the most dominant woman faction ever. I'm like, are you the only? Like, I remember when, like, you had Team Bad and, whatever they called them after they couldn't use Sorority Sisters and, the Bella Twins and Alicia Fox. You had those little trios. But, again, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, it was like a 4-woman stable that lasted as long as they have. Usually a women's tag team gets broken up every 2 seconds, and then, you're with Natty, poor Tegan. But it's just like, I feel bad that I feel like they deserve a Mania moment, but Jade's your bigger star. Unfortunately, I think they're not gonna have her lose her debut match, like legit match, not the Royal Rumble. And Bianca Belair has also never lost at WrestleMania. I think they're gonna have that streak go for a little bit, to be honest with you. So I feel for Damage Control, but I think Jade, Bianca, and Naomi are going to pull this one out.
So you're in agreement with me?
I am. I had to take because I do, like, again, Damage Control has been super dominant, but it really hasn't gone. I think it could have gone better. I think Dakota Kai getting injured kind of sucked. I really like Dakota Kai, but I just don't. I'd be shocked if they won.
Agreed.
I hope it's a good match, and I hope, Jade is, I don't want to call her green, but, close enough. But she's going to be surrounded by, other people that are really good, so I hope they can kind of carry her to, again, like, her best match, one of her best matches in AEW was with Anna Jay. Like, that was, like, her best match.
No, she's going to be protected and look good. It's just question is, how much will she do?
Yeah. I think she's going to get a hot tag, and everyone's going to lose their bananas. Like, I think Naomi will start, get beat up, tagging Bianca, then Bianca will get beat down for a little bit, and then tag Jade. Everyone goes crazy.
Right.
Is it No. What did she call her glam slam?
I don't even know. Stormbreaker? No. Or is that the thing from Avengers?
I don't know.
That might be the Avengers.
Tell me in the comments down below, because clearly I can't remember anything today.
So, well, you get a little shaken up from an earthquake, and things happen. So, moving on to a more publicized match. I put it in the mid card now, which I was hoping it. I mean, again, it's tough because it could open.
Well, don't steal my idea. That's what I told you, and I'm pretty sure I said it on Wednesday. Your first thing at WrestleMania, Jay comes out, the whole crowd goes crazy and gets them going yeet. And I think also Lil Wayne is supposed to be with him or something. But I just saw him coming out, the whole crowd going neat to open Mania would have been exciting. But if you listen to Meltzer, that's not going to be the opening match. But again, I think maybe too predictable here, but Jay's got to win.
Yeah, I mean, in the sense of if we're not ending the Bloodline story, but at least putting the cracks in the foundation of them disbanding eventually, this has to be a part of this WrestleMania demise of, Jimmy gets beat down by Jay, and Roman loses the belt, and Solo's just Solo's been fighting everybody the whole week. So I mean,
yeah, it's him and Jay tonight in the main event from SmackDown.
Yeah, Ed wants to have 80K people doing the hand thing. Hell yeah, it would be awesome. It would be pretty awesome.
Just the whole crowd just like bouncing with him. Like that was when Survivor Series, when he went up on top of their little cage before they go into the War Games match, and he was up on top of that, and the whole crowd was just with him. I'm
just shocked at how over he got. I really am. I didn't like. It's another thing. Like him and Lashley are two people that are just like they come out, and I'm like all of a sudden the crowd just reacts. I mean, I don't know where it all came from. It just like organically like grew. It was just like, okay, cool, like roll with it. So I mean, yeah, I think that'll happen. But I mean, does Solo get involved? That'd be interesting. Like,
or you save all his energy for
is Heyman there? Does Heyman join Jimmy at ringside?
I doubt it. Does he come with him to his No, he just comes out the Tribal Chief. Like they do backstage stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, true.
I don't think these
But yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see. This is really exciting because I thought 10, whatever it was, WrestleMania 29, way even before that. So probably 15 years ago, I interviewed Rikishi, and he was still wrestling at the time, doing spots on the indies, which he probably still is. And I know he's got a podcast. But anyway, all he was talking about at the time was his sons, and he was glowing about them and how excited he was for them for the moment when they go off on their own and get their moment. And now here we are 15 years later, and both of his sons are facing each other at WrestleMania. got to be an awesome moment. The only way this could have been better, I'm glad they did it at WrestleMania. That was the only way you could have done this. The only way it would have been better is if you put a belt in between them, like some really good mid-card title. Or, no, you can't put the mid-card title. But I thought about it for a second.
But also, this is the third brother versus brother match. Obviously, famous, Bret Owen, Matt and Jeff Hardy. I think as much as I don't like Bret, really love Owen. That was an incredible match. As much as I love Matt and Jeff, not that great of a match. I'm hoping they're on the level of Bret Owen, that they're just going to put on a barn burner. I'm just worried. I don't want it to be like Solo gets involved and it's like a roll-up shenanigans. Like, I want them to actually have give them like a 10, 15-minute match.
All right. So, let us know what you think. We want to hear from all you. Who you got, which Uso ends up on top. So moving down the list, we're going through these pretty quickly, actually. But we're going to open up the phone lines.
This one we'll get into because again, we're just kind of going through the Mania matches. I know there's a lot that's kind of happened this week. People talking to Ariel Helwani. Triple H did a brief stint on the Pat McAfee show this afternoon that I did wind up catching that 20-minute clip. But yeah, we'll go through the card and we'll get through some silly.
I'm going to leave the call-in number up for a little bit, just as we go through. So, moving along. So, next is a match that I'm excited for, but very, very nervous about. The build-up has been pretty good to it. As good as you can expect a mid-card title build-up to be. And the match I'm talking about is Gter, Sami Zayn. And what I'm concerned about is, I think, what most fans are concerned about. I know, Nikki, you're also concerned about this, is Gunther's had this historic Intercontinental title reign. At this point, who wins this match? Is it time for him to now drop the belt to Sami Zayn? Sami Zayn's had big victories at WrestleMania. He's coming off last year's tag team title win at WrestleMania. Could he be the one to knock off Gunther's reign? And maybe the company just believes in him that much moving forward, and they're going to give him this title, and he's the next champion. And he's held the belt before and done great things with it. So I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you for a second when you said up top, and you're like, oh, the best build that a mid-card belt can be. I was like, put some respect on Gunther's name, put some respect back on the IC belt. Like, he's, made that belt, that workhorse, great match, belt again. So I just, for you to just kind of oh, it's a mid-card belt, I feel like does kind of do it a disservice.
No, he's done a great job making it, again, but we talk, it's still, no matter how much you want to look at it, it's still going to be, to me, I don't care how much anyone says it. Oh, the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title, because the champion's not there, is the work. At the end of the day, everyone still views the world champion as the world champion, and that's why you're the world champion. I agree,
but I just think, I don't know, I don't like the way you said it, but whatever. Maybe
story of my life.
Because I'm just, I love, some of my favorite, all my favorite wrestlers are the IC belt, and I think Gunther's doing incredible with it. We were talking before we went live. And it sucks because I do like Sami Zayn, and I feel like he had 2 Mania moments, last year with him and KO winning the belts, the Mania before, that incredible match, even though it was a comedy match. Hi, honey, I know.
I didn't realize she was right there.
Bailey agrees with me. His match with Johnny Knoxville, which is so fun, probably one of the best matches of that weekend. I don't think Sami really needs this. I think Gter needs this. I think he needs another dominant win. I would like to see him go to, we talked about this on Wednesday, they have the Berlin show. He needs to main event that Berlin show with the belt. I really don't want to see him drop it yet. I like to see him carry it further for a longer time. And again, as much as I like Sami Zayn, I don't think he's the one to do it. I'd rather see, honestly, Chad Gable. If this was reversed and Chad Gable was here, I would have been all about Chad Gable. or Ilya Dragunov, I said the other day. I just think kind of like like a Braun Breaker, like someone up and coming, not Sami, who's already been so established. As much as I really do like Sami, I just don't. I'm worried there will be backlash. He already got essentially booed when he won the gauntlet match and Chad didn't.
Yeah.
And I think people like Sami, but I just don't think this is the right place and match for him.
Well, what's interesting is a lot of the theories are that, obviously Gable came out, didn't come out. He got dragged out by Gter on Raw. And there is theories that Gable could turn heel.
Oh, and join Imperium?
Well, I've heard different things on joining Imperium, or just joining, just going heel in general. For himself, I like Gable a lot. He's been phenomenal in the ring, so I wouldn't hate, like, even as a heel, like, he got over as a heel, so I wouldn't hate it. But it'd be interesting to see. I don't think it. I think it could happen. I don't think it will, because Gunther's reigns has been always like kind of seemingly like convincing victories, not really like dusty finishes on anything.
Yeah,
so
that's why I wouldn't want Chad Gable to get involved again. I just want good match, clean finish. I want to see Gunther retain. Little word he won't, but because honestly, I said this at our Royal Rumble predictions. I want to see him do like an Ultimate Warrior thing and have both belts at the end of like next year's Mania. Like that would be
the ultimate Gter.
That's what I would like to see. Because also Cody was on the MMA Hour and he said he would love to fight Gter, and I was like, oh, that's next year's Mania. But I don't know.
And why can't that? I mean, it's a logical progression, right? He got a mid-card title, but he brought it to another level and made himself into the transitional star to become a main eventer now. And he should be the next year. I see him dropping it by SummerSlam. And that next, whatever it is, August. So what are we talking about?
So do you think he wins Rumble next year? I didn't mean to cut you off, but that makes me.
Yeah, you didn't mean to. Okay, but no, I don't know if he wins the Rumble or not. Maybe I think he's a contender, but I think that it gives you that whole period of time where, I mean, he's had great Rumble showing, so he's probably due to win it just based off of all that. And if you're looking at the storytelling over the last like 2-3 years that he's been in the Rumble, it would make sense that he's been so close, and then he finally does it. So it would be a good logical transition. So, but I just think at that point in time, because then you go into the fall season, right? And the fall programming season, and then you can build him up all the way there, give him a couple decent feuds into Survivor Series, and then eventually, at Rumble Series and make him a turn. I think he's contending for the world title next year at WrestleMania. I really do. But I don't know if he wins the Rumble.
I agree. I just want to see that IC belt still on him.
I'm gonna try throwing the call-in link on here. I'm trying it a different way in case anyone sees it. It's in the description if anyone wants to call it. But again, we do the calls a little later, so I'm just trying out some different things today here in WrestleMania weekend when we get a little bit of a different fan base in. Well, a more broad fan base. Anyway, moving on. So the next match on our list for Saturday evening is the 6-pack ladder match, where Judgment Day, which, by the way, when I was putting this together, I was cracking up, because if you look at, tell me that photo of Damian Priest doesn't look like they literally used like
dropped his head off.
Yeah, on someone else's body. It looks so ridiculous.
Sorry.
And I just couldn't stop laughing at this. So again, we can't go through one WrestleMania without some sort of ladder match.
It's a staple. And I think once they kind of removed Money in the Bank being at Mania, making it its own pay-per-view, I like seeing, like, some of my favorite ones, like, was WrestleMania 31, that ladder match for the IC belt where Daniel Bryan won. That was a really fun match. So I'm excited to see. I like ladder matches. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am expecting a lot of, and that's how I kind of figured out, I felt like who was going to be in this match, just based off of, like, their abilities within the confinements of a ladder match and to do all the stunts. So we have Miz and R-Truth So the Awesome Truth back together now.
Mm-hmm.
Both competed in ladder matches before. Tag team have been together in years past for a while. Good chemistry. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, young guys, very athletic. Right. We have New Day. Enough said. New Day's in every ladder match known to man. Kofi Kingston is the spot junkie of WWE, so he's going to be there. Judgment Day, Damian Priest, the champion, so they're going to be there. DIY, you have two great in-ring competitors, fits the mold, and then you have New Catch Republic, who I think sounds like an STD name, but I can't get past them. I can't get past Tyler Bate and I don't know. I just think
you hate them so much. I think I love them. I think I love them more because I know you don't like them.
I just don't like. He comes out in his underwear. Okay,
we've had this conversation.
He comes out in his underwear with a robe on. It's laziness. It's lazy booking. Now I have figured out a way in which Tyler Bates' career can turn around. All you need, as someone who grew up in the early '90s watching wrestling, is a good gimmick. So here's what we're gonna do. He's gonna turn on Peter Dune, and he's going to join up with eventually Akira Tozawa. And they're going to have a whole gimmick over the course.
Did you smoke before we started this?
Well, we smoked, but not before. And then it's going to be a martial arts gimmick because Tozawa had it, and he had almost with him.
All the words coming out of your mouth right
now. And he's going to become a master. And he'll be Tyler, the master.
Okay.
Bate.
Well, I'm going to clue you in something.
And it'll be the best play on words that you'll ever hear.
Because you don't watch
Black belt.
You don't watch NXT. So his gimmick was like this hippie kind of like laid back guru guy who kind of like insinuated that he smoked. So you guys should in theory get along. And then him coming up to Maine, he got Pete Dunne of that stupid butch face with his little suspenders, his newsy gimmick.
No, don't like it. Don't care.
Anyway, we're pivoting.
I smoke. I still get out of the house and put on more than my underwear to go to work. So, that being said,
his body and making his money doing wrestling,
and the fact that he's in a tag team that says New Catch Republic, and he looks like he's in his underwear makes me all the more think about STP.
I think you're talking crazy talk. All right,
I think it's.
I'm going to move this ship along.
Tell me if I think. Let me know in the comments below if I'm being crazy or if that's a great idea. I think it's a great booking idea, and it's money. It's straight money.
So.
See, Ed agrees. Tyler Bate looks extremely naked with his tights and no knee pad. Exactly. Ed got a good one. Nude Catch Republic. I like it. That's a great one. That's exactly what they are.
So,
Steven, this is taking a stranger. No, it's only going to get weirder. It's WrestleMania weekend. We're having a blast.
Oh, Lord, heaven help me. So Michael Cole said on commentary that when they did the 4-way tag match that each belt has to be pulled down. So clearly they're splitting the belts. So we're gonna have two winners coming out of this match. Whoever takes the Raw belts will be on Raw. Whoever pulls the blue belts is gonna go on SmackDown. So there may be some reshuffling, or just a Raw person's gonna grab the Raw belts and a SmackDown person's gonna grab a SmackDown belt.
So yes. So you think that there could be a splitting of the belts. So we picked these as two. So for me personally, and maybe it's just like my heart, I picked DIY coming back with the belts because I think they're deserving it and more than half the other teams on here. And I think Awesome Truth is somehow going to come away with some of the tag team, one half of the tag team titles. I know they're both on Raw right now, but I just feel like putting Miz and R-Truth together, they're comic gold. They want to get them on screen a little bit more. Putting the belts on them is a good way to just kind of hold them. By the way, talking about Hall of Fame, which is going to happen tonight after SmackDown or during SmackDown. After SmackDown, sorry. Another first ballot Hall of Famer, Miz. Just phenomenal. Company guy has done so much.
Where he's all those things you see on Facebook is like where it started, how it's going. Like he's like the quintessential of that. Like he was so rough and so terrible. And then just kind of see the work that he put in and how much he does care about things. And again, company guy. And
Yeah.
I like everyone's in the Hall of Fame now, but I agree with you.
So who do you have in this one?
So I also agree with you that it's going to be Ms. Truth. I think they're going to take the Raw belt. I think if you weren't listening to Cole, I think that's going to be like the shenanigans that he's going to pull. Truth will grab the red belts and be like, oh, we won, and like run away. And then someone else will grab the blue belts. And that someone else, now I really hope they win, is Tyler Bate and Peter Dune. Because if you
at least he'd have something to cover up his underwear.
Then he's going to be pulling a Shawn Michaels. But if you're thinking like in my head, it's like a Raw person's going to get the Raw, one SmackDown person's going to get a SmackDown person. With Triple H now firmly in control, those are his boys. As soon as he, pretty much got control, he was Peter Dunne again. He's Pete Dunne. The Bruiserweight's back. I think they're gonna.
I don't know. I feel like it took a little while. I feel like he was still Butch for a while.
Yeah, but then when all that
he was on more, but he was still Butch.
Crap came out, and then TKO was like no, and then it was like, what's his face from TKO? Emmanuel. Who was it? Tell me down below.
Lewis, isn't that an actor?
Yeah, that's a little guy.
Anyway,
moving on. Stop. God. I think. Whatever. I think they're gonna fucking win. Move on. Ruining this.
Anyway, so all right, we got a lot more to cover, and we're still not even done with night one yet. It's gonna be fun. So, well, now actually we moves us on to the main event of night one. So, cream of the crop, what everyone's been waiting for to be electrified, with The Rock's return to the ring, joining up with Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Nikki, what are you thinking about this match? And who do you got?
So, first note, I don't know if you saw, Cody tweeted it, X'd it, whatever, Instagrammed it. He had his belt, his weight belt, says in Seth's colors, it says freaking, and it says like nightmare in red, white, and blue, and I think that's beautiful. I think it's going to be a very overbooked craziness. Unfortunately, I think my Seth is taking the pin. I think the Bloodline's going to win. I think they want Bloodline rules for Sunday night. I don't see The Rock or Roman getting pinned. As much, again, I would love my boys to win. I would love the match to just be a one-on-one. But there's no way in hell. So Bloodline wins. Then I think they're not going to pin Cody.
So, is this Bloodline rules?
This will determine if Sunday night's Bloodline rules.
So it's just a regular tag match.
It's supposed to be a tag match, but Meltzer's saying it's going to be all the blue bells and whistles. Thinks it's going to be,
So,
overbooked.
Yeah, because the question I want to know is Rock going to be, like, is he coming back for night 2? And if he is, which most likely he is, the question then becomes, does his turn? To me, there's going to be tension with Rock and Roman that they're setting up for, whether it's a SummerSlam match or WrestleMania next year, between the two of them. That's going to be their story continuing. I legitimately believe that's going to happen, that there's some sort of interesting double turn that's going to happen WrestleMania weekend. I don't know if it's going to be during this match in particular or during the actual main event of night 2 where something goes on. I think there's going to be an interesting twist that Rollins and Rock potentially turn it. My feeling all along with Rollins and the Rhodes situation is that it'll be kind of an uncertain, a sad circumstance where he's going to do something to protect Cody. Maybe he takes a spear or something along those lines through a table, and to your point, takes the pin, and that makes him weakened for night 2 with Drew. And all of these events are going to compound for Seth. And that's where I could see us having that potential heel turn in him. And again, like when you look at, or at least me personally, when I look at the potential challengers post WrestleMania for a, don't want to spoil it, potential Cody Rhodes championship reign, and legitimate challengers that could create a legitimate feud, Seth Rollins is always one of them who can do that anytime, anywhere. And he's got that built-in storyline, and Cole has made mention to it already, just to plant the seed for this weekend. He's never beat Cody. And that whole, I've never beat you, settle down over there. I've never beat you, what's the word? Craze, I think, is going to consume Seth Rollins. And that could be a feud months down the road. Not necessarily right now. Maybe he goes away for a little bit after this happens, but it sets him off for a potential, long-term contender for Cody. So in terms of this match, I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of twists and turns, but that's kind of what I'm thinking is the two turns, is the double turn of Rollins and Rock.
I think it's I don't know. Because I thought it's interesting that Seth said, the famous line from Triple H, I have a plan B. There's always a plan B. I think someone's going to come out, not Jay, but like one of maybe a famous bald friend might come down. And I think it's going to be overbooked and shenanigans. But again, Bloodline's winning.
Wait, famous bald friend, right?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, sorry. There is rumor, and there's a great video if anyone has a chance. And I can't remember who did. I saw on Twitter, someone did a great editing job and basically put together the whole Avengers Endgame scene with Cody as Captain America, and basically like Stone Cold comes out, John Cena, Randy Orton, basically everyone that the Bloodlines kind of mess with, which is funny because if you think about it, that actually and I've never understood this. There's so many, like Punk was one of the people too. Like so many people have so much history with the Bloodline that like, I wouldn't hate it. I'd actually probably really enjoy it just as a Marvel fan, as a comic book fan, like seeing that, like, you know what? Everyone's just like, that's it. We've had it with this shit. Enough is enough. Because what's interesting is you still only see, there's Solo, there's Jimmy, there's now Rock and Roman. If you want to count Paul Heyman as a person in that faction, you have 5 people now. And I only see Rollins, Jay, and Cody. So who's going to fill out at least one more? I mean, maybe not, you don't necessarily need someone to kind of, neutralize Paul Heyman per se, but there's there has to be someone to even the odds. There's an extra person if Rock or whoever doesn't turn. So who is the person that's going to even the odds in that feud? So I agree with you though. I have the Bloodline winning. I think we're going to see a Bloodline Rules Night 2 match. Mm-hmm. So that concludes Night 1, our Night 1 predictions. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, we didn't do bad in about 30 minutes with technical difficulties thanks to the aftershocks.
And then a cat screaming.
Yeah, thank you, John Tenta, R.I.P. So moving along, what we thought was going to be match 1 of Night 2 actually bleeds into my whole theory. So this actually might be a little easier for me on this then. Rollins, McIntyre. I think they're opening. I think bookends title. Bailey agrees. Acknowledge me. So I think it's bookend title matches, unfortunately. And I think she's upset because Bailey didn't want it to headline. Mm. She wanted Bailey to headline. And she's not. Sorry, Bailey. But anyway, she's still complaining about it. Settle down up there. Anyway, I think this is the downfall, and I've tipped my hand already, of Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre has done the best work. I don't care what you say. he's done the best work of his career, bar none. And even today he came out with another one. Or was that the promo?
Oh, he was working. Well, he was working out with Brian Cage, and then said that people felt betrayed that he was working out with Brian Cage because obviously Brian Cage is an AEW person. CM Punk said it on Aaron the Hawani show that people felt betrayed whenever May, June of whatever that he went to Chicago. Raw was in Chicago. He basically said Bayley invited him to come say hi to everybody, and then he basically got kicked out from Vince, and then the AEW locker room felt betrayed that he went to see friends at Raw. So then that leads into Drew hanging out with Brian Cage and saying that, oh, you're going to betray people and blah, blah, blah. But also talking about his promo on Raw when he does the eulogy to a casket.
It was great. It was great. He's been doing like just everything. The the social media work has been phenomenal. He's just found ways to just not renovate himself, but like he just kept himself relevant in such a great way leading up to it. And his focus has been the belt and everything else. And yeah, he's kept himself with buzzword topics like CM Punk and obviously Rollins. Yeah, I mean, but again, like, well, he's talked about Rollins and how Rollins is not.
I'm just saying, like, sorry, go ahead.
But he's done great heel work. Even the mic work that the three of them did on Raw 2 weeks ago was phenomenal. And again, they just went out and just basically did a shoot to each other and had a little bit of groundwork, but it was great and it's captivating, kept everyone interested. And that's the Drew McIntyre. If he can continue this, that's the main event Drew McIntyre that I want to see. So absolutely. And Steven says that Drew looks like Mr. Bean in that picture. He's a fighting Mr. Bean.
Now I'm not going to be able to unsee that.
That's hysterical. Ed wants to know, do people in AEW feel betrayed by Matt Hardy too? He was at Raw like 2 weeks ago. Nobody cares about it that much.
I mean, not. Matt doesn't seem to. He kind of does, but I don't know. I just feel like people go visit friends like all the time. Like Bayley and Naomi were at, Sasha's or Mercedes' big business thing. It's just like people do that all the time. Like there's WWE people at the Josh Barnett thing again. Like Shannon was wrestling or fighting and won, but like people go see each other all the time. But CM Punk does it. Everyone's like, oh my god! Like, yeah, like Ricky Starks was at Cody's first Rumble. Like, I don't think he's
a guy I would love to see in WWE. I think he'd be.
I think Cody yelled at him for getting. Everyone's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think he got the heat that Punk did.
Well, let me just say that with the Drew McIntyre thing today with Brian, or yesterday, whatever, with Brian Cage, he's another guy. Brian Cage should be in WWE. He fits the mold. He's not doing anything in AEW, but he's signing an extension. I don't know. Well, if Tony's gonna give out the money, why not? But again, like he's just the prototypical big WWE guy that I think would be great there. But regardless, let's not go off the rails on AEW's match. So regardless, I think my prediction for this match, Drew McIntyre beats down on an already beat up Seth Rollins from taking a potential spear, something through a table the night before. The residual effects thus end up costing him the world title to continue Seth Rollins' downward spiral. Nikki, last thoughts?
No, I've said this before. Everyone knows I adore Seth Rollins. I think it's time. I think I want to see him drop the belt to Drew and go away for a little bit. Heal your back, heal your knee. I know you're cleared, but I don't know. I'd rather see him have longevity down the road. And it's one of those things that, like, maybe just taking a month or two off, and then when he comes back, it's going to be huge. Like, sometimes you need to go away for a little bit. And I think Seth is at that point. And now that they announced that Glasgow show, Drew needs to main event that with the belt. Because he has to.
So we're in agreement. What do you all think? Is Rollins retaining, or is McIntyre going to take the belt and get his first big win and championship belt win in front of a WrestleMania crowd that he feels he deserved for the last. And I think a lot of fans feel like he deserved.
Yeah.
But let us know. I'm going to throw this up here one more time. We're going to just keep throwing it up.
Throw it up.
Yeah, throw it up. Oh, it's under this one. So we're going to keep the phone lines open in case anyone wants to pop in. Just we're going to keep them loading them up for when we actually do open them up. So on to the next. This one I feel like might be pretty quick for us. But
should we say it at the same time and then move on?
One, two, three. Lashley. So, but I will say this. I'm down with AOP. Yeah, you know me. Who's down with AOP?
You.
Because someone better be.
I know.
Dr. Seuss would love me. Look at all those rhymes I just did.
We said it before. Like, I feel...
You're welcome. I'm here every Friday at 6.
Nick really loves AOP. I want Karrion Kross to be better than he is, but it's just not clicking. And Bobby didn't have anything last year.
You know what happened? You don't want to hear it because you disagree with me on this. But Karrion Kross grew hair. And as someone who doesn't have much of it, that was what killed his career. See, it's hair.
It's gone too far the other way.
It's the hair.
I didn't like him bald, but then he kind of had the hair back. Now it's too long. He needs to cut it, but not be bald.
100% the hair.
It's too long.
So, but yeah, it's a street fight. We're all in agreement. Well, we're in agreement here. I don't know if anyone out there is in agreement with us, but we shall find out. Moving along to a match that actually is gaining. Jackson's being bad. Our dog. So, regardless, a match that we weren't really excited for, but has gotten me a little bit more interested. I thought the build-up's been nice. AJ Styles and LA Knight.
Yeah.
So, today, I guess at Access, or was it yesterday? There was a video released on social media that LA Knight goes after AJ Styles and basically gives him a bloody nose and just knocking him around everywhere. So they're just building up the social media for their feud. AJ's laid him out on a couple occasions. It seemed this feud's been built up since
before Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like I feel like even before the Rumble. It's been going for a while. It's got a little bit of steam because they've costed each other, or they felt like they cost each other, well, at least AJ, the belt. Again, not as thrilled at the selection for either of them because AJ's great. They're both great. But LA Knight has the most going for him right now, the most momentum for anyone, I think, aside from maybe Cody Rhodes. As a face, for sure. So this mid-card match seems like a huge letdown. And in this industry where I feel like it's all predicated on momentum, I don't want to see him lose or get cooled off. And I hope that's not the case and they continue to keep him along the path of the main eventer that he deserves to be. So when I throws out there, so I'll let you know that my prediction is that LA Knight is going to win this match. The other thing I'm going to throw out there before I ask Nikki your thoughts is I feel like, and maybe Nikki uses the term passing ships in the night all the time. This is an TNA Impact match that has happened. I felt like they were in Impact at the same time, but I could be mistaken. But so someone can correct me in the comments below. But I wanted to see if this is something that's happened before. But it felt like something that I've already seen, and that also diluted a little bit of my buzz, so to speak, for this match on that front. So someone please correct me. And we already got someone here. Ed says they weren't. So all right.
I said that to you 100 times, but Ed says it. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Well, he's at his computer, ready researching.
Yeah, sure.
He said he's right. He said, yeah. So, but Nikki, what are your thoughts?
Also, I kind of now Steven has this in my brain. Also, they did AJ dirty with this photo. He doesn't look. He looks like one of those like a caveman.
Like a soccer mom, like they call
no,
him.
that his brow is like aggressive. At first, I know I said this before that I was like, we didn't know what LA Knight was doing at Mania, and he needed something. I said I wanted him to be in the U.S. title scene, make it a 4-way. I said before, I was like, I don't know what this match does for either one of them. And then I feel like their feud has kind of turned into like this kind of guerrilla style build up that like he went to the house, they're doing stuff here, and then like, you know, LA came out with the
I forgot about that.
And with the Kane was like the security guy with the hat and stuff. So I feel like the build up has been better than I anticipated because it wasn't something I was like looking forward to at first, but like their kind of approach to this match has turned it around for me.
That's fair. Yeah.
And like LA goes over as much as I love AJ. You know, he said publicly that he's like winding down his career. I think him putting over LA will do wonders. And I hope that at SummerSlam he will get, I'm hoping it'll be him for a belt at that show. I'm only hoping that this is another jumping point for LA.
Agreed. I just on his road to superstar.
I just feel like up and up.
Yeah, main event status. I sincerely hope that he's going to that. So, speaking of mid-card talent that could be ascending, and some of them that were already main event. Moving on to the United States title picture, which we originally thought back in January at the Rumble was going to be AJ Styles and LA Knight was going to be involved in this feud anyway. But it's become a triple threat match between Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, and Randy Orton for the U.S. Championship. So, again, Kevin Owens has had this feud with Logan Paul for months now. It seems like forever.
It's like that sweet spot between Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber. That's when a lot of this is kicked off.
So he's had more of the history to potentially be the one to dethrone Logan Paul. Randy Orton, how many times? 14-time world champion. He's been Intercontinental champion. He's won mid-card titles. Can always carry that title. And then you have Logan Paul, who arguably has the most heat of anybody. Next to The Rock and Roman Reigns, I think Logan Paul is probably... Yeah, and Dom. But he's probably on the same level as Dom. You could argue he has just as much heat, if not worse. And that's why I like when they were together for that short period of time that they were doing a couple skits or whatever together. But so in terms of this match, again, 3 great competitors, 2 phenomenal veterans. What do you expect to see, Nick?
Logan's retaining for sure. I think again the feud is really KO Logan, and I think you can insert Randy anywhere because he's Randy Orton. But I think Logan Paul beating 2 of these kind of, I don't want to say the word pillar because that's not the word I want, but like established like main event people, won belts. I think again, sort of like the AJ LA Knight thing, like this will propel him kind of up, more legit wins.
That's where I disagree with you. I think he doesn't need the belt anymore. I think they're going to consider Logan Paul as he is going to be a main event talent. He's a main event caliber. Hey, forget what you know about his past coming into WWE. If he was just clean slate, just came in and that's his character, his name's Logan Paul from NXT, came up and did this, you'd say this guy is the next big star. Like you would say that. So I don't think he needs the belt to be relevant to go to the next level with a mid feud in between. So my personal feeling of these 3, the storyline's built in with KO already kind of hating him, but Randy Orton is a guy I felt like is going. I don't think he's ever held.
I said that before. We found out I was wrong.
So, but
he's had the U.S. belt before.
But all right, so he's had the belt before, but the resurgence. Gter is a great example, right? The resurgence of how they treat the mid-card titles has been phenomenal, and that's where I think a guy like a Randy Orton, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer, putting the belt back on him can still elevate other mid-carders, whereas Logan Paul at this stage is not gaining anything more from feuding with a Ricochet or feuding with, I don't even know, like the likes of a Chad Gable or a Sami Zayn or whoever. It's not as beneficial to him, whereas Logan Paul could drop the belt and move on. So my pick for this match is the Viper Randy Orton. I think the cream's going to rise to the top, and Orton is going to be our United States champion at the end of WrestleMania.
Can I rebuttal you, sir? Because you're wrong.
You're right.
Logan doesn't need the belt. I think WWE needs him to have the belt. I think he's got that stupid match with his brother and Tyson coming, whatever Steven said it was, him having that belt at that show. I think there's a couple more events and then again, SummerSlam is in Ohio, Cleveland Stadium. He's an Ohio boy. He's the one that announced we're gonna be here. I think him carrying it and then doing all that press leading up to SummerSlam and then drop it to LA Knight. I'm sorry, as KO and Randy don't need this because I can use your seat. You think Logan doesn't need it. I don't think Randy and KO need that either. I rather he drop because in my booking brain he loses it to LA Knight at SummerSlam. And again, it's my same feelings with Gter. You need to lose it to someone who needs it and can take and then all this momentum that you've built up and keep going with it. That's why I don't want to see Gter lose it to Sami. I don't want to see Logan Paul lose it to these people. I'd rather see someone else be I see where you are. I'll raise you. And then that also tells Ellie.
I don't see him. I see it being Orton. Orton's a guy who can carry the belt for a little bit and be a transitional champion to get a younger guy over for a bit and have some good matches with some other younger talent that'll put them on a different level. Ed asked that question. Ed, yes, we figured out he has. But I'm going to Randy. I'm going to double check.
Yes, because someone called it out before that I was like, is this a Sheamus thing that Orton needs it? And I thought we found out that Orton had it early in his career.
So he had it in 2018.
Yeah, that was my theory. That I was like, it had to be earlier. And you're like, no, it was 2018. I was like, I must have blocked that out of my brain.
Yeah, he had it for a month.
Who did he pick it up off and who did he drop it?
I'm not going that crazy.
In 2018, who was in that?
Fatal 4-way, 11-3. Yeah, so Fatal 4-way. No. He defeated Bobby Roode.
Oh,
for the
glorious. Not glorious.
So, Bobby Roode.
I don't think, KO had it.
Ed, I beat you. Well, you might have beat me to it. I don't know. Ed put it in the chat, but who knows?
But, I don't know. I just don't think, I don't know. This is, again, we'll leave this up to the chat. Maybe this is our controversial match of the night. Who's really going to take this home?
I could, because I really see this being up in the air. Any of the three. Owens has the storyline. Orton is a consistent champion that could always win. The way he's a main event talent. And when I say main event talent, what I mean by that is any night you can put him in the main event, title or not. That's what I consider a main event talent. So I think that in the sense of this, a main event talent can win a belt at any point in time. Becky Lynch is a main event talent. Seth Rollins is a main event talent. Roman Reigns is a main event talent. At any point in time, they can win any title because they have that kind of clout with the fan base, with their careers. So those two have that in line to do it. And Logan Paul, to your point, he could keep the belt and continue the momentum again with the media tour or, whether it's social media. I could totally see that happening. don't disagree with you one bit. So as we enter the 7 o'clock hour.
Oh my God.
Here we are. We were 1 hour away from SmackDown.
Yeah,
Friday night SmackDown.
Hall of Fame.
Before WrestleMania, Hall of Fame. We got a lot going. There's a lot we're going to talk about still. We still have a few more matches left. We only have a couple more. And then we're going to open up the phone line. We want to hear from all of you. So I'm going to, well, actually, I already did. In the ticker below and in the description below, if it's easier, there is a call-in link if you want to express your opinions, complain about anything we've said, or anything wrestling related, or just like, no. It's a fun weekend. We want to hear from all of you. And if you're new here, we have, weird, you know, as The Rock likes to say, breaking records. We're breaking records with live listeners right now. So keeping that total up. So if you're new here, hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends. We're here every Friday at 6. So let's keep it rolling. That being said, on to our next match, which is not the main event. My young fur child. Excuse me.
I know.
But
I
unfortunately,
have a cat named Bailey, and it was named after Bailey because she was NXT Women's Champion.
We have our Women's Royal Rumble winner challenging Bailey, challenging Io Sky, the leader.
I think Dakota. It was either Bailey or Dakota. I wouldn't say Io was the leader of Damage Control, but
I don't know.
All in the comments below.
It's yeah. Who is the lead? I don't think anyone really knows. They did that they did something on social media. They were like a little dance and stuff, and it was fun. I don't have any idea who the leader of that group is. But I think if I had to pick one, it would be Io. She's the champion. Like it's always gonna be the star of the group. The main event star has got to be the leader. When have you ever heard of like the mid-card talent is like leading the way? It's like you got the belt. It's always then the mid-card talent turns.
Well,
but so as always, ladies first. Nikki, since you named our first child after
I called her as my Royal Rumble winner, and I was scoffed at. But it's Bailey, and apparently either she got the rights to the song, I think, or Paramore is singing her to the ring. That was the thing.
Bailey?
Yes, they were.
Her song's Paramore?
Yeah, her song's not Paramore, but she wanted one of the Paramore songs to be. Again, I don't remember off the top of my head the name of the song with. You can tell me down below.
Check in the comments.
But it's gonna be Bailey. I think she has not, and I said this before.
We got a new comment. I'll need
it.
What time? Sorry to interrupt you. Tell me what time does it start? It starts at what are we at 7? Or are you talking? Wait, tell me. I'm not sure if you're talking about SmackDown tonight or the actual pay-per-view tomorrow.
Pay-per-view tomorrow is a new start time at 7. So pre-show is 5, I believe. I believe it's a 2-hour pre-show. Then we start at 7, and then obviously East Coast time, and then SmackDown starts tonight in an hour, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
There we go. A fact checker.
But Bailey.
So sorry, go on. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. It's Bailey. I picked her to win the Rumble. I'm picking her to win this. I feel bad. I think Io is, again, better than they kind of presented her. I think in NXT, when she had that big long run with the belt, I think she had more personality. Now I just feel like she just, sadly, just squints at people.
Bailey?
No, Io Sky. Like, you see, if Dakota's cutting a promo, and I'm sorry, she's like, and I was like, no, let's not do this. Like, I feel like she needs more personality. Like, I don't know. I feel like that whole group just was not handled the best.
I honestly, my firm belief on this match is this is going to get this is going to be a good match, and it's going to get completely lost because of the fact that, and I hate to say this because they're talented competitors, and like Bianca Belair is phenomenal, right? We all know about that. I love Jade Cargill. Damage Control, Asuka's is unbelievable. You know, all 3 of them are great. All 6 of those women in that 6-woman tag are phenomenal, but did they need to have the match? And this is my issue, I feel like, with WrestleMania at times, is that I get it. You want to get as many stars on the card as possible. And that's what, and tonight's Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but like, that's what it is. It's like cramming in. And those folks, I don't know what I said, but those ladies should be involved in some fashion in this match, and as like they're on the outside. You don't need to have the match to be impactful. And I think I just feel like it's going to get lost. Like that 6-woman tag match will be all right, but it's just kind of another match to kind of throw on the card that's going to diminish this one-on-one opportunity for both of them to come. When we talk about completing the story is the whole WrestleMania thing. This is the storyline that's been happening, is how she's been kicked out of Damage Control and how she wanted to control WWE with them together, and all this happened. So like that's what I think is getting lost. This is a storyline that I feel really, really sad for, because I feel like it just gets lost in the shuffle of WrestleMania this year. And you know, put some respect on Bayley's name, like CM Punk says.
Maybe this should open. Maybe have the 2 women's matches open both nights.
That would be, yeah. I mean, so I don't see anything wrong with there's nothing wrong with having both women and men's match, like a traditional way of doing it. Like you have the 4, I guess, major belts, right? You have 2 men's, 2 women's. Just have them bookend the event, however you want to do it. I don't see anything wrong with that either. So, but yeah, what do you all think about this match? Is this a match that you're excited for, we're excited for, not excited for anymore? Again, like Io's had a really interesting rise with the Money in the Bank, and like how, like the way she did it was really exciting, of like the handcuff and everything else. And then ever since, and even the storyline, I love the storyline of, like, again, Bayley, the whole group turning on her. But since that initial, you know, Bayley getting kicked out with the lead pipe move, nothing stood out in this whole build up for me at all. And maybe it's just, you know, everyone's trying to stand out in one way or another, but this got really lost in the shuffle, and it's a shame, because it's a Royal Rumble winner that's kind of lost in the shuffle. So
unfortunately, not the first or last time that's going to happen, but our girl Bayley's going to win.
So speaking about it, the Paramore song was "Summer" was a song. Ed did some Googling for us.
Oh, okay.
Thanks on that, Ed.
I thought it was a longer title, but maybe I could be wrong. But if you're Googling.
All right. So let's bring it in to finally, we made it. Only an hour and change in. And I blame, again, the aftershocks for like 5 more minutes. So we did a pretty good job on this. Our main event, you all know it. You all love it.
Can you just lower your laptop screen so where you can show the kids your shirt? Because that's who's winning.
Yeah. So if anyone needs to know,
Nick's wearing his Cody.
And in honor of all of the comments, which we can talk about, and please let's
keep them coming, baby.
Keep them coming, because it's going to be a topic. I wore my, I guess it's the AEW Cody Rhodes.
It is the AEW Cody Rhodes shirts, to be honest.
T-shirt that's do the work. So clearly, by my clothing choice, you all know that I feel like Cody Rhodes is completing the story and finally getting the belt that he deserves. Where, again, and going back to the main event from what we feel might be the main event from night 1, because how can I rock not? Well, all right. Okay.
That's
so
important.
I feel like in this match, it will be Bloodline rules. I think the turns of Seth Rollins and The Rock happen night 2. That will have more of the cracks in the Bloodline moving forward to lead to the Rock Roman match, whether it's SummerSlam or WrestleMania next year, something along those lines. With it being Bloodline rules, I'm expecting absolute carnage. I don't want to see. First off, they better have 3 announce tables. I want to see a Spanish announce table and what was the other?
It's usually the French.
The French, yeah. I want to see all 3 announce tables, and I want to see all 3 of them destroyed. If they're not destroyed, I'm rioting by the end of night 2. Yeah, I send it back. So I'm fully expecting absolute carnage night 2, where Solo Sikoa has to go through like 2 tables because they've built him up as like the Samoan Brock Lesnar. To be honest, that's what I kind of feel like. I don't know. I feel like with Paul Heyman, I always think
I
he's
have
a
a
Samoan
different
Brock.
take on Solo.
But anyway, I feel like I feel like I know what you're gonna say, but I'm not gonna say it for you.
I said it to you. So.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say. So they're gonna put him through 1 or 2 tables. I expect absolute anarchy. Like Jimmy and Jay probably gonna show back up again for night 2. Kind of eliminate each other, take each other out. Then at what point in time does The Rock get involved? And what point in time does Seth Rollins get involved? There is a double turn, I feel like is going to take place. And it may not be as crazy a double turn as like, oh my God, that's a Rock turn. I think it's going to be something, what they've done with the Bloodline feud, or the Bloodline storyline for the last X amount of years. How many years now? Like, it feels like 5+ years. Is they've done a very theatric approach to it. And I think that there's going to be something that's going to, some crack in the foundation. There's the 2 biggest egos are Rock and Roman. Something's going to happen with those 2 where Rock turns on Roman that way. And I think it'll happen after we see Seth Rollins do a shocking turn, like a curb stomp or something on Cody Rhodes. I think that's happening. Book it. Nikki?
Oh, I hate, you keep saying double turn. I hate it so much. I think the trajectory that Rock has been on and this crazy, crazy heel Hollywood Rock, Hollywood, like Cody said on the podcast, it feels like Bash at the Beach of like how it's so crazy how Rock is. I don't think you're just gonna turn him face on a dime. It feels real weird to me. Real weird to me. Speaking, I don't know. I don't like it. Cody's got to win, and then which we didn't really touch upon or mention, like in the Roman Reigns documentary, and also brought up on Monday. Like if Roman loses, he's leaving. I said we got to a fight because I was like, good go, and you're like, oh, if he showed up in AEW, you loved him, and I'm like, because I still wouldn't. And it was very mean that you said it to me.
What, Roman?
Yeah, you're like, you would love Roman in AEW.
You would.
Like,
you would. No, you know what? She would.
She
would. I stand by that. I stand by that statement that now, because I think, yeah, you'd be like, oh my God, he's being booked so much differently. Because what would happen is Tony Khan would let him come in and just run roughshod over the whole roster.
I don't want to see that. I want to stall for 4 fucking years.
And he'd be
I
like
want
a
my
Goldberg
champion to be there on Raw. I want Cody to fucking show up and be a champion. I'm tired of the Brock Lesnar bullshit. I'm tired of Roman Reigns. I'm done. Let's move on. Like, have a champion that's gonna be your fucking champion.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Tony Khan would build him up like no other. Like no other. Give him the belt right away.
Along with the Bucks, and it wouldn't fucking matter.
Yeah, he'd be the elite, the new member of the elite. Let us know. Actually, I want to hear from people. We got a lot. What do you? Yeah, hey, listen. If Roman Reigns did go to AEW, would he be successful in AEW, or would he just? Would it not? I think so.
Your face off of your face.
So acknowledge him. Just acknowledge him.
Anyway, Cody's fucking wedding.
I like it, Ed. The real Samoa Joe heading to AEW. There we go.
Oh my God, I have Samoa Joe. We already have that match.
FPP, welcome back. Welcome in. Thanks, man. Long time no see. Go Jets. There we go, Jets. Cheers to that.
Oh my God, I really have Jets faction after me for disagreeing with you.
Oh, just wait. Just wait. What are you guys thinking? So.
Oh God, someone call and tell me.
Oh, well. I'm gonna throw it up. Let's do it. Throw it up. Hold on. Still learning how to use these systems. So if you look below in the description of this video, if you're watching live, there is a call-in link. If you want to come express your thoughts, let us know. what do you think's going to happen at WrestleMania? Who do you think is someone going to turn? Is there going to be a shocking victory? Will someone return?
Give us a lock. Or should I be pulled my dad's? Tell me 3 things. Give me your lock. Give me your upset. Give me your oh my god moment. Simple pimple. Tell me 3 things.
I like that. In honor of Nicole's amazingly late father.
R.I.P. kids. But no, that was the same. Tell me 3 things. So when I call it, I want you to tell me your lock. I want you to tell me your wild card and your Umagets.
All right. As I restock myself here.
Everyone re-pour.
All right.
We're going the distance here.
So, eeny, meeny, miny, Mania 4.8. This is the best for today. Yeah. We got an aftershock, and we're still going. So, John Tenta, R.I.P., where you at? He knew. Can we get him a Hall of Fame induction? Probably not.
We're not supposed to be having these here.
Surprise!
Wow.
I feel like everybody should be wearing a helmet.
Or a tinfoil hat.
Wow.
It's just, yeah.
The tinfoil hat probably is more likely. But yeah, a hard hat. That's what we really need in New Jersey now. Everyone's going to walk around with hard hats and just keep yourself stable with all these aftershocks. But Steven, what are you thinking?
All right. So what was it now?
What are you thinking? First off, let me go. Let me keep the show in as normal. What are you thinking and what are you drinking?
I'm thinking I probably shouldn't have had all that Chipotle to make everything shake.
Oh no.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Keeping it real. You're keeping it real.
Listen, we went from Tyler Bates underwear to naked crutch. Wait, we did. Oh, hold on. I have to go back to nude catch crew.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the new.
Then Nick wants Tyler Bates to be a ninja, so bring it on.
The nude catch republic. Sorry, I'm going through these comments.
Having a flashback to Naked Midian.
Oh, well, he had his little fanny pack.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh! Naked Midian. That's a good throwback.
Ugh.
Or Midian in general.
I'm glad I had dinner already. Ugh.
So Steve, what are you thinking?
Oh gosh. Okay.
Tell us 3 things.
All right. What was it? Lock, wild card, and what was the third thing? I couldn't quite.
OMG moment. I guess
a
shocking.
Again, Nick keeps saying that everyone and their mother is going to turn heel. So what's a crazy or someone's going to return, someone's going to come back, someone's going to do a thing. Something oh my god, we didn't know this was going to happen. Okay. Like a Royal Rumble return sort of deal.
How about for the OMG moment? This is going to make the crowd go just nuts. Is the Lashley cross match that no one's going to seem to care about? That's where you're going to see all of the old ECW wrestlers that are in town for Heyman's induction. I mean, you have to do it. You have to. It's Philadelphia. You have to do it.
Yeah. We did not say that when we did our predictions. It is a street fight. It's a Philadelphia street fight.
Yeah.
Very tall.
That's a good one. Yeah. So all right. So I'm going to push back on you. If you think ECW originals are going to come back for that,
mm-hmm.
Which ones do you think are going to come?
Well, I don't know who's free and who's not, but I'm betting Sandman. I'm betting Dreamer. The Dudleys. Wouldn't surprise me if RVD was there. Maybe your boy. Maybe he told them he was coming and now he's not.
Oh gosh. So Steven's making a reference, so I think we should address it now. The elephant in the room.
Steven, we're gonna take a quick detour.
Quick detour for a second. I'm gonna pop you off and then bring you back on. So just to let everyone know, so we were doing a show this week. We're doing special shows the whole week for WrestleMania week. To let you all know, we had a guest scheduled, just incredible, for Wednesday evening at 6:00. We were doing a different show with ECW, being in the city of hardcore. We thought we would have on PJ Polacco, just incredible, on our show. We reached out to him, booked him for a certain amount of time. He was going to be on the show for an hour. At 2 o'clock the day of, he told me that he was doing well. Everything's all right. Nothing was off limits. We'll talk about, everything on the show. Super excited. We'd promoted this for a while. And long story short, he did not show up, told us he was going to the hospital. We have found out recently, if you look on Twitter, it can be verified. He is actually in Philadelphia at WrestleCon right now at one of the tables. Long story short, several other wrestling fans have reached out to myself via Twitter and other avenues to let me know that similar situations have happened to them with said wrestler. I'm not going to drag anyone through the mud or anything. I'm just going to tell you all what the facts were on our situation. When I found this out, we went live at 6 o'clock. We were scheduled to go live. We waited a little bit longer. Some of our regulars here, we appreciate you all for joining in. Stayed with us and waited the 15, 20 minutes.
20.
We figured 20 minutes because in college, when you go to college, we have a professor and you give him 5-10 minute grace period. So we gave him 20 minutes. He didn't show and proceeded to message us after we were well into the show to let us know that he's been in the hospital. Again, trust that he's being honest. However, I'd heard from numerous sources over the last couple of years that this has been a recurring instance. So that being said, we decided we are not going to tie ourselves to any situations of someone who may be unreliable. So we decided we were going to move on and not deal with any repercussions of whatever cost it was, whatever it is. We want to put on the best show possible. Mm-hmm. What we did on Wednesday is we just went out and we winged it. And I have to say, we can't thank everyone enough because it actually ended up being the blessing in disguise that Nikki and I really love, that shows us that we're doing something right, something good, because it ended up being the most watched show that we've ever had. And that had nothing to do with who didn't show up. It had everything to do with who did show up and who listened. And it means the world to us. And we want to let you all know, like, this is a handshake industry and your word is your bond. And if you break that, we don't care. You're dead to us. That's how we are. We're only true. We are fans just like all of you. And hearing that that has happened to other people, we don't want that to happen to anyone else. And we don't want to associate with that. So that is the situation from Wednesday that carries over today. That is done. We will have guests. We will have good guests. We will have guests that will actually show up and be here. Mm-hmm. So again, thank you all for supporting us. And as we move on, this is just, I wouldn't even call it a speed bump because I don't want to give it that even.
We had a deep, I'm going to cut you off a little bit because we had a deep conversation about this last night. And I was like, it is what it is. He did a thing. I don't think it's a right thing. And whatever's going on in his life, I wish him well. We're going to move on. It's not going to ruin my podcast. Not going to ruin my Friday night. Not going to ruin my weekend, my WrestleMania thing, my WrestleMania Monday. Like, we're moving on. Like, this is, like, beyond. This is more than we even thought we were going to talk about it. But, like, again, I want to shout out Lisa, Ed, Homan,
all the regulars.
Steven! Like, you guys, like, when we went, because we looked at each other, like, what are we doing? And I said, like, fuck it, we're doing it live. Like, we're just going to go in. And you guys calling in and, like, really, like, lifted us up. And just, like, this community is fantastic. And, like, wrestling community, like, we pick each other up. And we're just, it's fine.
And that's, and I'm glad that Nikki mentioned that. That's what we want this show to be, is just interactive, everything possible. If you're reading comments, like, Nikki will yell at me later. Well, she won't. But, like, we joke, like, I cut her off because we read comments. We get excited when you all contribute. We want to hear. If you think I'm an idiot for not liking Tyler Bate, or if you think that my idea is brilliant, which it secretly is, we all know, let us know. It's fun. It's topics. We love wrestling. That's why we're here. Most of us work normal weekday 9 to 5s, and we love wrestling. That's what we want this to be, is just blow off some steam at the end of the week, and let's go into SmackDown feeling good and enjoying everything.
That's what I said. I was like, let's drink. Like, the best thing is, like, talking shit with my friends. So, Steven! Come
yeah,
back.
so hey,
Let's
and
talk some
bring him back in. Sorry, Steve. There you go.
Okay, the lawyers approve. Yeah.
As I put up the call-in link.
All right, so that was the wild. All right, so that was the. Did I make somebody spit out a drink?
No,
Probably.
I'm good. I'm good. But that was great. Thank you. I
Career
needed
achievement unlocked. Nice. All right. Anyway, yeah. So the OMG is some of the more well-known ECW originals come out during the Lashley and crew match.
Yeah, FPP says Sandman.
Yes, Sandman, RVD, Raven. Again, I don't know who's contractually tied to other organizations that won't let them do it, but yeah, there's going to be some of them there. Sure, and they'll come out during this match, and ECW will have its big stadium moment that I don't think they ever had back in the day.
That's a good question.
I don't think so.
What is the biggest ECW show?
I don't think they ever did a venue larger than the Manhattan Center or the ECW Arena. Not that I can think of.
Yeah, that's interesting, and which it just begs a question as I threw up this graphic. But like, can we talk about how shitty it is that Roman Reigns is inducting Paul Heyman? Is it because like most of the ECW guys aren't great talkers? Does that sound bad? But like, I can't think of a great like the old ECW guy that probably cuts the best promo that I could think of with ECW. Probably like Jericho or Austin. Like that's actually.
I don't know. I thought maybe Austin. I thought maybe Punk, maybe Bully Ray, but I don't know what his are with TNA.
I mean, Austin, while he did serve time there, he wasn't there really long enough to be identified. All right, serve time. That's wrong choice of words, negative connotation. But I mean, he wasn't there that long. You know, a lot of these people who were known for being ECW were the lifers, like Dreamer. Dreamer would probably be the best one out of them, or Bully Ray. They're both on the same show. They're both.
I thought for sure Bully Ray was going to be the one to induct Heyman, but I think they're both going to be there.
Yeah.
I think both Dudleys are going to be there. Yeah.
Isn't Dreamer a producer at TNA? And then also, I don't know if the perceived kind of stink off of how he came off in the Plane Ride from Hell, Dark Side of the Ring, because he got taken off of Busted Open for a while, and I don't know if like Triple H would want him on a show.
I don't know. I maybe not.
Or then also I was worried that like they have Roman doing the introduction because there's something that's going to be like storyline or leads into like when Rey Mysterio got inducted, like when Dom and Rhea left. Like I
also feel like WWE is weird about like to FPP's point about Sandman. Like WWE was always weird about. I felt like drinking beer was Stone Cold's thing, and like they were always very weird about like. You know, protected. One of the things we were going to talk about is like protected moves on the interview on Wednesday. But there's so many moves that are just like the Tombstone Piledriver is a protected move that you never really see like anyone else do. And like the Stunner for so long, no one could do that. So,
KO got permission.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see. I was going somewhere with that point, but yeah. Anyway, I digress. So Steve, see what else? So you have so you think the ECW guys are coming out? What?
Yeah.
Lock.
Yeah, what's your lock? What do you 100% definitely?
I think the only match that has a result that's a lock, other than the Lashley match, is probably the Damage Control match.
The tag match.
So then you think Bianca and Jade and Naomi are winning?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jade just got there. Naomi just came back, and Bianca has a streak, apparently, a little mini streak that they're pushing, undefeated streak. So, yeah, I don't see how they don't win.
I would love to see Naomi actually turn heel, and not that I want to see her join the Bloodline, but like It's just like she came back and she hasn't done shit.
Too late for her to join the bloodline.
Yeah. And the wild card, the only upset I can think of is Jimmy over Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it could happen. It could happen. It could happen.
I feel like that would take the wind out of the arena.
Yeah. I mean, and as far as turns go, I don't think Seth is turning that night. I think he's going to lose his title. He's going to go away for a few months, and then he's going to come back and turn.
I'm fine with that.
No, but that's similar along what I'm thinking though. Like it's not like maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Nah, I don't know. I think I still think it's probably happening tomorrow night. I don't know. No, I'd bet more it happens tomorrow night. Either way, I think it's happening. I think it's leading to his turn. But yeah. But Steve, before we let you go, any last thoughts?
No. Just something's telling me I should get a go bag ready. Just in case.
Seriously, yeah. For all of us living in New Jersey, I don't even know what's going on, but at least hopefully everyone's safe in New Jersey and sound.
Yeah, so thank God there wasn't a lot. There wasn't really much reported in the way of damage. There was a lot of damage control.
Yeah, and then on that note, that's the perfect way to cut off Steven. Oh, what a good segue.
He's the best.
Well, let me get through a couple more of these comments before we.
I can't see any of us.
No, FPP said Sandman. I got that one.
No.
FPP also thinks MJF shows up. I don't think.
Babe, not happening.
Yeah, I would love it. And they were actually chanting at MJF's. They were chanting MJF at Triple H on the Pat McAfee show last night.
No, it was today. It was 4 or 5.
It was dark out on my Twitter stream, but
no, it was because they were in the Wells Fargo Arena. Sorry, but you my face.
Interesting.
It's not gonna happen.
Well, I'm gonna throw up the call link again. Any of the matches are up. Any of the wrestling topics are up to talk about. Yeah. We could talk about AEW too. If you want to talk about AEW, we could talk about AEW. We could talk about Punk Cody's AEW comments. And they're rivaling Punk's comments or Cody's comments defending. How do you feel about all that? There's a lot we could get into. So, before we do that, let's bring back in. He's made a lot of comments tonight. A couple good ones. A couple really funny ones. Let's bring in Ed. Ed!
Hey, what's up?
What are you drinking? What are you thinking?
Oh, it's your face this time.
Oh my God, it's my face this time. Oh my, can it be?
Holy shit.
On, guys.
Oh my God.
He has a face.
I do. How's it going?
There's a face to all the IMs and messages. Oh, wait, let me take this off.
It's a little slanted. The camera's up that way, but do what you can do, right?
Exactly. Hold on a second.
Still getting over the plague. Still hydrating. It's a good time.
We got you, FPP. MJF, sorry, I got you.
I'm telling you, the last ECW champion, the real ECW original, Ezekiel Jackson's coming back this weekend.
Oh,
Ryklon, Big Rick,
Ed.
No one wants to see it. Bailey's judging you right now. Look at her face.
The Mimi Cheese herself.
We will say for the next hour. Don't even start.
We are 100%. She's judging you. And she's considering throwing you into the drunk tank.
Listen, hey, it happens. I don't tell you. No, I'm feeling like the absolute lock. Night 1, Rock and Roman, right? Not too sure how. I mean, but it's definitely some kind of attitude era schmooze, right? It's overbooked. It's going to be Car Crash TV. I'm not going to be able to look away. It's going to be great. I'm going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, again, night 2, ridiculously overbooked. I think Cody wins, but I think as he's crying and, we get the fireworks and the confetti and everything, and just as he goes to hand it over to Mama Rhodes, does JoJo's enthusiast Damian Priest show up and cash in? And
don't you dare.
He finishes the story. And as much as I want him to be the guy in the face and him to go be the next Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, John Cena, Steve Austin, man, there's something about him just getting that ripped away at the last moment.
What if? But what if? All right, let me throw a different scenario. Well, a similar but different scenario. Same situation happens, but after all that, Cody still ends up hitting a couple crossroads on Damian Priest.
He hits him with his own move.
I know. Oh my god, because he's talking like he's like, oh, I hear someone in NXT is using my move. Damian Priest.
What's funny too is I had gone to that it was a Ring of Honor TV taping, right? But it was essentially the All In Go Home show.
Mm-hmm.
So gone with a couple of friends. Damian Priest, who at the time was Punishment Martinez, was wrestling on that same show. And I forget who started it, if it was a friend of mine I was with, or if it was the guy next to us. But we had like 2 rows of people chanting "Spooky Roman" at him, because the guy next to us brought it up. He was like, "Hey, doesn't he kind of look like we have Roman Reigns at home?"
See, he's one of the guys though. I will give him credit. Like, aside from hold on, I'll pull up the picture.
Oh, this shitty picture when his face doesn't look like it belongs to his body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that Photoshop is incredible.
Here we go. I'm bringing this up. Just look at that. It's phenomenal.
Just zoom in on how terrible that looks.
But
honestly, the Photoshop play for everybody. I don't know what's going on with any of these posters.
Yeah, no, it looks.
Well, you know what I think is interesting, and this is an interesting debate, is that so when we were doing the prep for the show, there's a poster for every single WrestleMania match, and I think that's kind of like a, I don't want to say spoof, but just kind of like a play on everyone's you're on the poster, everyone's on their own poster, like this whole thing is one big digital poster. There's not one I don't think, I typed in so many times to try and figure out what is the actual WrestleMania poster, and I thought it was just the logo or something, and there was nothing like that. There was nothing everyone's it's Rock and Roman's tag match, or it's the main the Rollins match or something. Yeah. Everyone has their own graphic. It's insane, but this graphic cracked me up because I literally felt like I am terrible at tech stuff, and I'm pretty sure I could have done the same job of getting Damian Priest's head on that guy, on that whoever's guy's body that is that even? It looks like it says Fox. I feel like it's like a John Moxley look. It's the most.
What does that say?
I wish you could zoom in.
Oh, live forever.
Oh, okay. Well, but still,
because he has both belts around his neck that makes his
It's just a weird shot.
I just started. But talking about Damian Priest, he's had one of the him and Gter. Their body transformation is unbelievable, and I guess you could throw that in here. Peter Dunne,
Peter Dunne,
the amount of weight that they lost, and the shape that they're in, which actually Pete Dunne looks so different that he looks almost not unhealthy skinny, but not as badass skinny as he was. He was when he first came in, he was a muscle jacked, kind of like Taz.
I would say how Tyler Bate is now, where he's just jacked.
Hey Ed, what do you think? I want to hear this. So what do you think about my great gimmick for Tyler Bate?
I think I like mine better because the nude catch Republic, which would be you can double down on it too. You can give Pete Dunne just smaller boots, so he doesn't have the boots with the kick pads anymore. He's got the little wrestling shoes, so he looks even more naked. I love me some Tyler Bate. The guy's incredible. I absolutely love the old school World of Sport, British wrestling. The old British pro wrestling style. He's going for, right. It's this old 1930s shtick. It's fun.
Yeah.
But it's one of those two. If you haven't seen it before, you're either what the hell is this guy doing, or you absolutely love it, right?
Yeah. Right.
There's no in between.
Hold on, I'm gonna throw out while you're still on the line just a random topic that seems like an Ed topic. Nick, the best wrestling was the old AWA. That's what FPP. Sorry, says.
Before my time, I actually haven't watched
different eras. That's the problem. It's there's so much, and when you talk about the 90s, the early 90s were Hulk Hogan won with a leg drop for 20 years.
And his gimmick was that he had giant arms.
I thought
he didn't even spec into legs. He specced into arms, and his finish was a leg drop. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought for the longest time that his finisher was a body slam.
No.
Because he slammed Andre, and I was like, that's the most impactful move in the history of wrestling.
He killed Andre.
Yeah, he basically. I didn't realize that they had a rematch like the next year. I completely forgot about
Yeah,
that.
they got thrown out, and then they had a tournament.
That's true.
Or
Honestly, though,
is in the tournament.
I forgot about that. And then what's it called? Didn't and then DiBiase won and tried to give it to Andre, right? That was the that was the shtick.
Yeah. He was
I think that's something different.
Andre to get it.
Or was that when Savage won and he hit them with the chair?
Yeah, no, Savage won that year because it was the WWF World Wrestling Federation title that year because Hulk Hogan hit DiBiase with the chair and they were on the outside and it was the whole thing, and then he just kind of like fell into it. But I remember that very vividly. Speaking of which, actually, perfect segue because we were talking Nikki, in honor of it being WrestleMania, and in the fact that WrestleMania was Macho Man winning his first WWF title, she thought it would be awesome to get really amped up for WrestleMania.
So shout out to Fix Beauty Bar in Milltown, where I get my nails done, and I literally took a screenshot of Randy Savage's pink trunks, and I was like, make my nails look like that. So I don't know if you can see, but I literally
that's awesome.
Pink nails with those bright stars. I was like, I'm sorry, this is weird. She's like, I'll do it. So
awesome.
Shout out to Christina at Fix Beauty Bar in Milltown. But I'm also
or those CM Punk stars.
My Savage shirt. No, this is fucking Savage. You know I love Savage. Get the fuck out of here. But
maybe it's for CM Punk getting involved in being the special announcer at WrestleMania in honor of the voice of the voiceless.
Honor Randy Savage, CM Punk.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Listen, I'm just happy that Degeneration X is on that the tag match poster there.
Oh,
they did a really good job of making Triple H and the Heartbreak Kid there, look young again. Yeah,
look at that.
Look at them.
There's also a rumor because like R-Truth doesn't know what day it is that Kate Priest's briefcase and grab that and exchange it for the belt, and then hang up the briefcase, and then someone else take the briefcase down.
That would be awesome. Actually, it would be a phenomenal twist.
I mean, that's a way to get that off of him, without like doing anything with it.
Because he's not cashing in on Cody. He's not cashing in on Drew. I'm sorry. And I also don't want him to be another Elias Sandow situation.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with him because I mean, again, do you do what I said? And it's like I don't really want that. I want the feel good moment, especially after all of that. So Cody wins, he's champ, but now he has to deal with the final boss. That's fun, right? Because you could stretch that out to SummerSlam. You could stretch that out to WrestleMania next year.
I absolutely want to see Cody Rock one-on-one, because the one thing that I said numerous times over the last couple months is that if Rhodes completes the story, beats Roman, the only thing that could take him to a whole other level is beating a Hall of Fame talent. You have to go to what's better than a world champion? You have to beat world champion. And most of the time, when you think about it, most of the time you beat a world champion on your way to becoming a world champion. Like you beat a side guy who's not the world champion, like a Randy Orton or AJ Styles or whoever. And that propels you into the title picture. Once you're the champion, once you become a main eventer, because Cody's a main eventer regardless now, I think he's got to that point where he's justified his whole existence. Like when him going out and coming back and everything else, he proved he's a top tier talent, and that's what he should be. Now, can he be the mega star that he thinks he could be? That and a win over The Rock or a one-on-one match with it's probably over The Rock would take him to a whole other stratosphere of stardom in the wrestling business.
Yeah, I mean, I would say him beating Roman cements him as the guy. And I agree with you. beating, and I think that's going to be the plan, right? I mean, that sounds like that's the idea. He beats The Rock and then is the face. He's he's the next John Cena, the next Hogan. He's the next guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a pure blood like baby face that everyone cheers, like
blue-eyed, blonde hair, baby face. It did it for my dad.
Yeah, and everyone will love it. Everyone will love it.
Give it to my mom.
I know. Oh my god.
Oh no, trust me. I was watching that and getting emotional too, but then seeing The Rock just tear him down, lost my mind.
No, I hear you. So Ed, what do you what's your big three? What's your OMG moment? Your lock. What was the other one?
And your wild card.
Oh no, yeah. My like I said, my lock is definitely Rock and Roman win night one. I think the OMG moment is the Cody winning. And I'm telling you, the wild card is Damian cashing in before he gets to do all the stuff he says. I don't want it, but like, tell me, that's not crazy. That wouldn't blow your mind to end that show.
Just don't put that out in the universe too much where Triple H can hear you.
I mean, because not for nothing. What else do you do then? Do you, I mean, with everything going on with Judgment Day, do Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee win? Does Rhea lose whenever she's wrestling that night, one or two?
One, yeah.
Do Damian Priest and Finn Balor lose the tag belts and then Damian fails a cash in? Is this the end of Judgment Day?
Well, that's the thing. That's what we talked about earlier. It's like, do they do a clean sweep of all the belts and everything else and just clear them out and like this is it for Judgment Day? Because I really think Dom's leaving Judgment Day, and I think it's time for him to kind of go off.
It's time to do something with these guys because as much as I like them together, I feel like Finn Balor's a main event guy.
I feel like it's run its course.
Yeah, I mean, you've got four people there. Oh, I keep forgetting that JD's a part of the group.
Yeah, well, he's going to be with Finn. He's 100% going to be a tag team with Finn. That's how I see it.
I hope they don't regulate Finn to just being a tag guy. I mean, if anything, make JD Finn's fall guy. Give him a small group behind him. Hell, I mean, you're not doing anything with the Good Brothers, right? Bringing them back up to NXT or from NXT.
Yeah.
I mean, hearing rumors about Tama Tonga. Maybe bring him in, throw him with Finn Balor. Just saying. You're not doing anything with AJ.
Yeah, I mean,
he's probably losing, right?
I think there's going to be some, and AEW does it like New Japan does it with like a million stables, and I don't like necessarily disagree with that because I kind of like stables, but like I think we're going back to the Attitude Era, which was mid-90s of that whole. And I said Los Boricuas.
The gang war thing again?
Gang warfare. And
Nation of Domination.
You have Lashley's group. You have Carrying Crosses. I'm down with AOP.
The Final Testament.
Ed, are you down with AOP?
Who isn't down with AOP? Come on.
You're supposed to say, yeah, you know me. You didn't do it.
Don't yell at me. Don't sass me in front of Nick Aaron.
Listen here.
Listen
here. If I'm going to bring you, if you're going to bring you on to WWE and on stage, you're going to have to complete these lines verbatim. All right.
Verbatim.
Unbelievable. Don't pull the Rock. I can't have you coming out there writing lines on your hand like the Rock did a couple years ago. So let's not do that. But I was going towards something with the AOP.
I don't know.
I had a nice build and I got But yeah, faction warfare. I think you have that stable. I think Santos and his group is joining up with, I would love to see Dom with them. And Andrade is going to be somewhere involved in that down the line. So
yeah, they were talking to him a little bit, weren't they?
Yeah, it was a weird, like...
they were all in the clubhouse, and like they came in, and then Andrade, and it was like, Andrade will beat Ricochet. I don't know.
Did he beat Ricochet? I don't even...
No, I don't know if that's because they're going to do the Andre tonight. Or if that was a match going to be on Monday.
I keep forgetting.
Like, oh, JD, you didn't beat him like Andrade will.
No, you didn't beat him. None of us will. And it's essentially how it goes.
God, Ricochet's another guy that should be a massive star, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, Ricochet, so that's a good point. So Ricochet, I think, is he has been the foil in Judgment Day the last month. And I think he's going to get a big push post WrestleMania, but he's been seemingly getting push.
He's going to win the Andre and nothing is going to come of it.
That's a good question. So tonight, who is in the Andre?
I'm going to say, who's even in it? It's like him and Shinsuke Nakamura the favorites?
Yeah, and Chad Gable. So I think those are your three.
All right, hold on.
Ooh, do they give it to Chad Gable because it's a consolation prize?
Like it was for Bobby last year?
Right?
Right.
See, the whole Bobby Lashley thing bums me out because if you've heard interviews that Karrion Kross has done, since last WrestleMania, he was saying that him and Bray were talking about possibly interjecting Kross into the Bobby Lashley thing. So it's like, what was going on with that kind of thing. So I mean, giving Lashley something to do was nice, but like, I don't know. I had a point where I was going to was, do we get Uncle Howdy coming back?
Yes. That's
during that street fight.
I think it needs to be put like Raw after Mania. I don't think you bring him in at Mania. I think it's a post thing. And again, I really want it respectfully. I don't know. I feel like
Does he come back at WrestleMania? No. Does he come back within the week after WrestleMania? Yes. And the question is,
does he hook up with Karrion Kross and what are they, the Final Testament?
No. I don't want any.
I want bring
That's so frustrating.
Rowan back. Maybe Braun Strowman's in Philly. He was at Sport.
I'm here for it, honestly.
Bring the I don't know. I'm like excited about it. I know Bo Taylor wants to do it, but I worry about the cringe factor. I'm worried that it's too different to that. Like I don't know. But
no, I don't, because the Final Testament's not a dark group. They're sorry. I'm on my rant. You got me on my pedestal. So they're not. Final Testament is more of a destruction type, enforcement type group. That's how I always viewed AOP. AOP, when they were with Rollins for that short bit, and I think there was an injury to one of them, but that's how I view them. And they need to be the enforcers for some hostile takeover type group. Like Rollins would be perfectly again, not going to happen, at least in the near future. But let's just think 2 years down the road, Jon Moxley comes back to WWE. They're the type of guys that should be with him in some sort of big faction to take over. But that's how I kind of view them, not as a darker entity.
I mean, they've already got the flak jackets on, right? They could be the Shield again.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought they were getting at with the whole Seth Rollins stuff, however many years back. But it's more of it's more of a tag team, and the old school, and R.I.P. Luke Harper, but the Brody Lee. Sorry, Nikki's gonna get upset.
All these things,
but the Bludgeon Brothers are that type of tag team back in the day that could go.
Yeah, I mean, you just want the big Road Warrior-esque, two big muscle dudes beating people up.
Sanity would have been good as a darker, they have to have some brood, the brood, some element the brood had to be a darker, and that's what so going back to your point, what my concern is for Bo, whatever, Uncle Howdy, whatever they're calling him, is that it's a character that it's going to be mysterious for a period. And then when you have to take it, because this happens with everyone, and Nikki said it earlier, completely different scenario. Solo Sikoa, eventually you have to speak. And AEW, Hook, eventually, if you want to be, she's going to disagree, but stop right there. Stop right there. Eventually, I don't care who you are. Brock Lesnar is the best example that I can give anyone of this. Eventually, you have to speak. And if you're going to be a legitimate main event talent, you have to speak consistently and have some element of charisma, or else you'll never be like that. And that's my whole feeling. Go on.
I get what you're saying. And I feel that's very true in the old regime. I think with the guys we have now, to your point, I think you do need to at least be effective. Do you need to be the best promo of all time? No. Because like I think like Brock now proves that like he can just show up and he's effective. And I think like somebody like, and I hate bringing them up ever, but I think somebody like a Benoit was extremely effective, right? That guy showed up, was like, I'm just gonna twist you, I'm gonna twist you in a pretzel, I'm gonna beat you half to death, and that's the end of it, right? And you believed it because he was super intense. It wasn't poetic, it wasn't flowery, but it was straight to the point, and you believed it. I think if you throw if you throw somebody as a mouthpiece on somebody to do the rest of that heavy lifting, you're golden. I mean, and that's the whole point. At least it was the point of Paul Ellering with the with AOP. And it's why I don't it's like I like the three of them with Karrion and Scarlett, but I don't really understand it because Karrion's fine on his own.
Well, yeah, but you're kind of making part of my point for me, right? Is that AOP is a tag team. They're never, and I don't think I'm going out on a ledge here in saying that either of them is ever going to be a main event talent on their own.
How dare you?
Listen, I'm down with AOP.
You don't think
me? And I'm still telling you that neither of them are going to be anything in the singles division.
Who are you to doubt Akam and Razor? They're technicians at the highest magnitude.
But
two jam up guys.
But it also like eventually, if you're going to get to that level where someone, myself, yourself, Nikki, whoever, is going to pay to see you in the main event for the world title, you're going to have to talk me into that arena or that pay-per-view buy or PLE buy now that they're called. But that's legitimately how I feel. And like, you're never going to...
To be fair, I think Paul Heyman talked Brock into that main event spot.
Originally, yes. But there's also an element of his brooding like athleticism that was just apparent. And like, to your point of Chris Benoit took how many years? 15, 20 years before anyone ever gave him the legitimacy to become that main event talent. Oh, and like same thing with Daniel Bryan, better example in terms of life. But like it felt like he had to finally get a huge bump to get over. But like most of those technicians, like Benoit, I feel like even when he won it, everyone's like, it's because he's been great for 20 years in ring, but could not tell you anything leading up to that match. And even that match, wasn't that a triple threat? Because we just did the brackets, so it's refreshing.
Oh, I was even talking about before that. I was thinking more of just like his WCW run. Yeah, when they would just hand him a mic and he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go beat up the Mang tonight, and then Mang would just kick his face in because he's Mang.
But Ed, so what do you think? What so we talked about your lock, we talked about your surprise. What else you got before we let you go here?
Man, because I'm even just trying to run through the card. I mean, I think Bailey's taking it, right? That's sounds about right. Man, what's a fun little swing?
Hold on, I'm going to answer questions as you think of that. When will it start? So it starts at 7
EST.
Eastern Standard Time, Islam. And so both nights. And if you want to know, we will be live at 5 p.m. on Sunday. That's our next show to let everyone know that's in here. And since we have a bunch of new listeners in here, if you're new, hit the subscribe and like button. Let us know what you're thinking, what you're drinking. We're going to be back on Sunday. But anyway, Ed, go ahead.
Does Punk screw over Rollins? In a fun little twist?
I think Punk does something to both of them because he hates both of them. He said he hated both of them.
I mean, that makes way more sense to me. But like, if you're asking me for like just another wild card, I mean, do we get an MJF? Do we get a Tama Tonga?
I think Tama Tonga's more likely.
MJF is not
MJF
coming.
Is going to happen. I think
I don't either.
Tonga or what's the other Fatu that was?
Jacob.
Yeah,
oh, right. Him and what is it? Zilla? Zilla? I've only ever seen it written, honestly. I've only ever seen clips of him without audio. So
Umanga's kid. Is that Zilla?
Yeah.
And then Tama Tonga's Ming King.
Haku, yeah.
Yes.
He's
Nice. Yeah, it's It's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of different folks.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I was saying Wednesday, right? I have no clue who's going to win most of this stuff, and that's fun. That's great.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, Ed, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for checking in.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
But as always,
Tell your missus I love her.
Will do.
But you, sir, are cut off.
Bye.
We have a couple comments. So,
Okay.
Quentin Gill, welcome in, Quentin. Welcome to the show. NXT is on. So, are you on NXT right now, or are you watching? Are you getting ready for Stand and Deliver with? Oh my gosh,
I guess
Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. Which I'll be honest. Well, Nikki already kind of outed me earlier in the show, but like I don't watch as much NXT. But the things I watched have been the Trick Carmelo Hayes matches, or the storyline at least. With now Melo's got a couple heavies joining him, so it's kind of interesting with that. And I think Roxanne Perez, is that the other one? The feet.
Yes, but I think and Stand and Deliver is
Saturday. It's like before WrestleMania.
The matinee show.
It's interesting. Yeah. And I throw this out here as we enter into SmackDown land, which is the first. This is a first for us, so we're going a little longer than normal. But you know, is anyone more excited to see Stand and Deliver than WrestleMania? Highly doubtful, but I'm throwing that out there.
It's a good card. I don't think I'll watch it live, but I will go back and watch it.
Yeah, I'll throw it one more time. If anyone else wants to call in before we wrap up here, we'll take in another call or two and then give our little final thoughts on everything before SmackDown. Throw that up. All right. So tonight, as we wait and see, for SmackDown, we have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner. Or Battle Royal.
Battle Royal.
So the participants, I just had it. Tozawa, Andrade, Apollo, Ashanti, the Adonis, Bronson Reed. The Creed brothers are going to be in it. Chad Gable. You said Chad Gable is your one of your.
I just feel bad for everyone.
JD McDonough. Kit Wilson. Almost.
Pretty Kelly, how dare you?
Oh, okay. I just know them together. Almost Otis, Ricochet, Sanga. Oh yeah, he's still around. Shinsuke and Veer. So you said you thought Gable.
I'll put it down. I'm saying Gable.
Well, this is not part of the WrestleMania.
I'm just saying it's something. I think just something to capture. So when Gable wins, I can tell you you're wrong. But yeah, I put Gable like he's Josh Brolin.
I don't know. Honestly, I think Ricochet.
Pretty Ricky.
He's got a lot of momentum.
All right.
And it seems like the type of guy. We got the KO show tonight with Orton as a special guest. I'd probably anticipate some sort of tension between them to set up the triple threat.
For sure.
Zelina Vega, Elektra Lopez. Oh, at least they get their kind of WrestleMania moment.
Thing, but like also it's the same between LWO versus Legato, and then kind of Karrion Kross boys and Lashley boys. So it's the same thing, but they also have each have like a random female.
Steven calls it the soon-to-be future endeavored Battle Royal. Touche, Steve.
Perhaps.
Well, I'm not going to speculate yet, but there's a few on there that might be. But yeah, I'm going Ricochet on that. And then we got the new STD Republic versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory.
Okay.
Well, you know I'm calling New Catch Republic.
They have the match at Raw, so they're having the SmackDown. But that also makes me think why Peter Dune and Tyler Bates going to win, because those are the only two SmackDown kids. And I think they have maybe I really like Grayson Waller. I really don't like Austin Theory, so maybe
I don't know. I think it's a thing where post WrestleMania everyone can move everywhere, so I don't really think it matters. I just think at the end of the day, it's who's best. What's the best tag team that they can put out there on SmackDown and on Raw, and then go ahead and if DIY is the team that can have a couple great feuds of the next couple months going into SummerSlam, That's who it needs to be.
Mhm.
Or whoever, however they perceive. And then we got main Jey Uso with Solo, and like we said, like Solo is kind of taking the blunt of all the matches, the brunt.
Yeah, I think it's also when you say like, oh, they stood tall at the go home show, that you're not going to win on the pay-per-view. So
you think Solo's going over against Jimmy or Jay? Sorry,
yeah, I think it's shenanigans or something's gonna happen. Hi, honey.
Why couldn't they be named like Jimmy and Gerald? I wouldn't mess up their names so much.
Well, because there's actually not the real name, so.
I know, but I know it's driving me crazy. But that being said, we have already cut into SmackDown time, so we hope some of you are joint watching us and SmackDown. We appreciate you joining us for an elongated episode of the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Again, we are here. If you're new here, please hit the like and subscribe button. We are just brand new doing this the last couple months, and we're here every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time, whatever that translates to you locally, talking wrestling, everything wrestling. So feel free to call in, ask any questions, bring up any topics that you want on here. FPP, you have a great evening as well. And just enjoy wrestling, honestly.
Enjoy good pro wrestling. That's why we're here. I don't care what company. I don't care what you're doing. High level indies in a gym. We just support good motherfucking wrestling.
Exactly. So get yourself a drink. Maybe a bathroom break during the commercial. Yeah, hopefully you pre-recorded SmackDown. If you're still with us into SmackDown, we appreciate you more than you know. So we are back here Sunday at 5 before night 2. So we're going to recap night 1 and go into night 2. We're going to see if either of us change any of our thoughts or predictions for night 2.
I win.
And we want to see you all. So thank you again. Enjoy night 1. Enjoy SmackDown tonight. Enjoy the Hall of Fame. If you're in Philadelphia, enjoy the whole weekend of crazy, awesome wrestling, WrestleCon, all the things going on around this area. Try to enjoy the aftershocks if you're getting them. Just make the most of it. It's a great weekend. This is the weekend that all of us as wrestling fans look forward to.
Christmas.
It is our Christmas. So let's hope Santa Triple H brings us some good storylines for this weekend.
Yep.
That being said, as always, you don't have to go home.
But you can't stay here. Bye.